On our team, our listing coordinator uses AI to write every single listing description we publish. And I want to be completely honest with you about something. Those descriptions are better than anything we would write ourselves. They're more engaging, more descriptive, more likely to stop a buyer mid-scroll and make them want to see the home. And they take about 3 minutes to produce instead of 30. That is the reality of AI for real estate agents in 2026. It's not replacing us. It is making us dramatically better at the things that used to eat up our time. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how we use Claude, which is the AI tool our team relies on most, for 3 specific things that every real estate agent has to do every single week: listing descriptions, follow-up emails, and social media posts. I'm going to show you the exact prompts we use, the exact outputs we get, and how to take a raw AI draft and make it sound completely like you in about 60 seconds. By the end of this video, you'll be able to open Claude today and start using it immediately. My name is Scott Kumler. I'm a real estate team leader based in Arizona. Let's get into it. Before I get into specific use cases, let me quickly explain what Claude is for anyone who's not used it yet. Claude is an AI assistant made by a company called Anthropic. You go to claude.ai, create a free account, and you type a request in plain English. Claude reads your request and writes back a response, whether that is a listing description, an email, a social media caption, a script, or pretty much anything else you need written. There is a free version that works well for most tasks, and a paid version called Claude Pro that gives you more access and more powerful outputs for every $20 a month. There is a free version that works well for most tasks, and a paid version called Claude Pro that gives you more access and more powerful outputs for about $20 a month. For serious business use, the paid version is absolutely worth it. Now here's the thing about AI tools that most people miss, including most real estate agents who have tried them and been underwhelmed. The quality of what you get out depends entirely on quality you put in. If you type, "write me a listing description," you're going to get a generic, mediocre result. If you type a detailed, specific prompt that tells Claude exactly what the home is like, who the buyer is, what the feel of the neighborhood is, and what tone you want, you're going to get something genuinely impressive. That is what I'm going to teach you today. Not just that AI exists, but how to actually use it in a way that produces results worth using. Let's start with one that has made the biggest difference on our team: listing descriptions. Listing descriptions are one of the most time-consuming writing tasks a real estate agent or coordinator faces. You have a new listing coming up. You need a description that grabs attention, highlights the right features, speaks to the right buyer, and makes someone want to schedule a showing. Most agents either spend way too long on this, staring at a blank screen trying to find the right words, or they write something generic that flat does not do the home justice. Our listing coordinator now uses Claude for every single listing description on our team, and the results are consistently better than what we were producing manually because Claude never runs out of creative ways to describe a home. Here's exactly how we do it. The key is giving Claude all the details it needs to write something specific and compelling. Here's an example of the kind of prompt our coordinator uses. You can see up here, it says, "write a compelling MLS listing description for a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home in Peoria, Arizona. The home is 2,847 square feet, built in 2018, and is located in a gated community. It is an open floor plan, a chef's kitchen with quartz countertops and stainless steel appliances, a large primary suite with a spa-like bathroom, and a resort-style backyard with a pool, built-in barbecue, and covered patio. The neighborhood is family-friendly and close to a top-rated schools. The target buyer is a family looking to upgrade. Write it in an engaging, warm tone that paints a picture of the lifestyle the home offers. Keep it under 250 words and end with a compelling call to action to schedule a showing." Let me show you what Claude produces from that prompt. You can see here, it created the prompt. It says, "step through the door of this 2018 built beauty and feel the difference space makes. At 2,847 square feet, this 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home was designed for a way you actually live. Open, connected, and effortlessly welcoming you. The heart of it all is in this chef's kitchen that earns its name. Gleaming quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances, and enough room to cook, gather, and linger. It flows seamlessly into a main living area where morning coffee and Sunday game days share the same easy rhythm. Retreat to the generous primary suite where a spa-inspired bathroom turns the end of a very long day into something restorative. 3 additional bedrooms offer flexibility for guests, a home office, or whatever your next chapter requires. Then there's the backyard. A true Arizona resort. Take a dip in the sparkling pool, fire up the built-in barbecue, and settle in under the covered patio as the desert sky turns gold. This is where birthdays happen, where friends stay too late, where summer finally makes sense. All of it tucked inside a gated community with tree-lined streets, nearby parks, and convenient access to schools, shopping, and dining. Homes like this don't stay on the market long. Schedule a private showing today and imagine your first evening by the pool." That output from a prompt that took about 60 seconds to write It's something that would take most agents 20 to 30 minutes to produce on their own. And it is genuinely good. It sells a lifestyle, it speaks to the right buyer, it ends with a call to action. Now here's the important step that most people skip. Always read the output and make it sound like you. Maybe you want to adjust the tone slightly. Maybe there is a phrase that does not feel natural to you. Maybe you want to add a specific detail about the neighborhood that only you would know. Take the AI draft, treat it as a very strong first draft, and spend 60 seconds making it yours. The combination of AI speed plus your personal touch is what makes it so powerful. The second use case, and one that I believe is where AI can most directly impact your bottom line, is follow-up emails. Here's the reality about follow-up in real estate. Most agents know they should follow up more, most agents intend to follow up more, and most agents still do not follow up enough. Because writing individual personalized emails to every lead takes time they do not have. AI removes that excuse completely. You can now produce a personalized, compelling follow-up email in about 30 seconds. Let me show you several scenarios because follow-up looks different depending on where the lead is in their journey. Scenario 1, following up after an open house. You met someone at an open house on Saturday, they seemed interested but were not ready to commit. You want to follow up Monday morning in a way that feels warm and personal, not like a mass email. You see the prompt here at the top here? So write a follow-up email to someone you met at an open house this past Saturday. Their name is Jennifer. She mentioned she's looking to buy in the next 3 to 6 months and is particularly interested in homes with a large backyard because she has 2 young kids. She seemed interested in the home, but said the kitchen was smaller than she wanted. Write a warm, personal email that acknowledges our conversation, provides some value, and gently moves her towards setting up a time to meet. Keep it concise, no more than 150 words, and sign it from Scott Kumler. Okay, you see what happened, right? It created a response. Hi, Jennifer. It was a pleasure meeting you at Saturday's open house. I really enjoyed hearing about what you and your family are looking for, especially a backyard with room for 2 kids to actually run around. I heard you were on the kitchen too. That's a fair thing to hold out for, and it helps me narrow the search. There are a handful of homes in the area that hit both marks, generous lots and kitchens with real space to cook and gather, including a couple I expect to come available soon. Would you be open to a quick 20-minute call this week? I'd love to hear more about your must-haves and timeline, so I'll only send you homes worth spending a Saturday on. Warmly, Scott Kumler. That email took 30 seconds to prompt and genuinely warm, personalized, and moves towards the next step. Compare that to the generic, just checking in, let me know if you have any questions email that most agents sends. There is no comparison. Scenario 2, re-engaging a cold lead from your database. You have leads in your database who went quiet 3 or 6 months ago. You want to reach back out in a way that does not feel desperate or salesy. Okay, you can see at the top is my prompt here. So the prompt is basically write a re-engagement email to the lead named Marcus, who I met 6 months ago. He was interested in buying the Scottsdale area, but went quiet after a few conversations. I do not want this to feel pushy. I want it to feel like a genuine check-in and provide some value. Mention that the market has shifted and there may be some opportunities worth looking at. Keep it under 120 words, warm and conversational tone. Sign it from Scott Kumler. So you can see what that in, and this is the email I got, right? Hi, Marcus. It's been about 6 months since we last talked, and you crossed my mind this week. Hope things have been good on your end. No agenda here. I just noticed the Scottsdale market has shifted since we were looking together, and a few of the things that were frustrating back then have eased up. Inventory and seller flexibility both look different than they did. If you're still curious, I'd be glad to send over a short rundown of what's changed. No pressure either way. And if the timing isn't right, that's completely fine. Either way, good to have you in the corner of my world. Best, Scott Kumler. That email does something most re-engagement emails never do. It gives Marcus a reason to re-engage. The market has shifted, there's opportunity, without making him feel pressure or guilty for going quiet. That is the kind of follow-up that actually gets responses. Scenario 3, a 5-email nurture sequence for a buyer who is 6 months out. This is where AI really starts to feel like a superpower. Instead of writing 5 emails one at a time over 5 weeks, you can ask Claude to write all 5 at once. So you can see the prompt at the top here, right? So it says, write a 5-email nurture sequence for a first-time buyer who is 6 months away from being ready to purchase. The emails should be spaced 2 weeks apart. Each email should provide genuine value and gently move them toward looking for a buyer consultation with me. Topics can include understanding the home buying process, how to prepare credit and finances, what to look for in a neighborhood, the importance of getting pre-approved early, and what to expect at a buyer consultation. Keep each email under 150 words. Warm, educational tone, sign each one from Scott Kumler. And then what it did is it created the prompts for me. They actually created a download here where I can actually download it and basically copy and paste that into my email formats. The third use case, and one I hear agents struggle with the most consistently, is social media content. Most agents either post the same generic content everyone else is posting, or they stare at a blank caption box and eventually give up and post nothing. AI solves both of those problems. Here is how we approach social media content on our team using Claude. Situation 1, turning a listing into social content. Every time we list a home, we use Claude to generate multiple social media posts from a single set of home details. So you can see the prompt here at the top. So it says, write 3 different Instagram captions for a new listing in Peoria, Arizona. The home is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath with a pool listed at $625,000 in a gated community. Write 1 caption that focuses on the lifestyle the home offers, 1 that uses a curiosity hook to get people to ask for details, and 1 that is more direct and speaks to buyers who are actively looking. Each caption should be under 150 words and include a call to action. Add relevant hashtags at the end of each one. And then you see what it went ahead and spit out. It spit out multiple different tags. So you got 3 different ones right here. So that's 3 completely different captions, 3 different angles, 3 different buyers they might reach. All produced in under 2 minutes from 1 prompt. You pick the one that fits your voice, best for the day, or you schedule all 3 across the week. Situation 2, creating educational content from scratch. You know you should be posting educational real estate content, but you never know what to say. So here's a tag, here's the prompt for that. So write 5 short educational social media posts. For a real estate agent, each one should teach buyers or sellers something genuinely useful about the real estate process. Topics should include why getting pre-approved before you shop matters, what earnest money is and when you can get it back, 1 thing sellers should always do before listing, a common mistake first-time home buyers make, and 1 question every buyer should ask their agent. Write each one in a conversational first-person voice as if Scott Kumler is sharing genuine advice. Under 120 words each, no hashtags needed. That prompt then gives you 5 posts you can schedule across 2 weeks. Combined with your behind the scenes content and your personal pillar posts, your entire content calendar is handled in about 5 minutes of prompting. That's the difference AI makes for agents who actually learn how to use it. Before I wrap up, I want to give you the single most important tip for using AI in your business, and that is always make it sound like you. AI is a starting point, not a final product. The agents who use AI most effectively are the ones who treat every output as a very strong first draft and then spend 60 seconds putting their fingerprints on it. Here's how to do that quickly. Step 1. Read it aloud before you use it. If any sentence sounds stiff, overly formal, or like something you would never actually say, change it. Your voice matters. Step 2. Add 1 personal detail that only you would know. A neighborhood reference, a market insight specific to your area, a personal observation about the home. That 1 detail is what makes it feel real instead of generated. Step 3. Tell Claude your tone up front. In every prompt, describe how you communicate. Conversational, direct, warm, professional. The more clearly you describe your voice, the closer Claude will get to matching it on the first try. And here's a pro tip that makes everything easier. You can tell Claude at the start of a conversation exactly who you are and how to communicate. Something like, I'm Scott Kumler, I'm a real estate team leader in Arizona. I communicate in a warm, direct, and authentic way. I never use corporate or salesy language. I speak to agents and clients like I'm talking to a friend who trusts me. Please write everything in this style for the rest of our conversation. Once you set that context, every output Claude produces in that session will be much closer to your natural voice. That is how you use AI to produce content that sounds like you, at a speed you can never match on your own. Here's what we covered today. Claude is the AI tool our team uses, and it is available for free at claude.ai. Quality of your output depends on the quality of your prompt. Be specific, be detailed, describe the home, the buyer, the tone, and the goal. Use case 1, listing descriptions. Give Claude every relevant detail about the home and the target buyer. Get a polished, compelling description in under 3 minutes. Tweak it to sound like you. Use case 2, follow-up emails. Single emails for individual leads. Full 5 email nurture sequences for long-term prospects. All produced in seconds. Load them into your CRM and let them work while you focus on your active clients. Use case 3, social media captions, multiple caption angles from 1 listing, educational content for 2 weeks of posting, all from prompts that take less than 5 minutes to write. Always make it sound like you. Read it aloud. Add 1 personal detail. Set your tone up front. AI is the starting point. Your voice is the finish line. The agents who learn how to use AI well right now are the ones who are going to have an enormous advantage over the agents who never figure it out. You now know how to use it, go use it. And if you're a real estate agent who wants to talk about how AI and systems like these fit in your building a real scalable business, I want to have that conversation with you. On our team, we use AI as 1 piece of a much bigger system that helps our agents produce more, work smarter, and build a business that doesn't require them to reinvent the wheel every single day. I do one-on-one Zoom calls with an agent who wants to understand what that looks like and whether partnering with us could be the right move for their career. No pressure, no pitch, just an honest conversation about where you are and what building a better business actually looks like. The link to book directly on my calendar is in the description below. It takes about 30 seconds to book a time that works for you. And if this video saved you hours this week, subscribe to this channel. I post content every week for real estate agents who want to work smarter, build better systems, and stay ahead of what is coming in this industry. I'm Scott Kumler. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.